when grifters on the left attack you, whether it's
I don't
Rubin,
think they're grifters.
I think Seder's a grifter.
I disagree.
Okay. Oh, by the way, so now all of a sudden you're defending Seder. When he calls me a grifter, you don't defend.
Well, this is the clip from Hasan's show where he has his uncle Cenk Uygur on, and Cenk goes full holiday uncle. He calls Sam Seder a grifter. He says, I am the left. He does a couple of little very interesting tantrums, and the two of them spend a lively time hashing out of a bunch of issues. The full video is worth a watch. Here, we're just going to focus on some of the crazy highlights that are being referenced so often in other kind of left-wing, online news outlets. So let's check this out together. I have a few comments, but mostly I think it speaks for itself, and then I want to know what you think at the end.
When Dave Rubin came out and started lying, 100% lies, lie after lie after lie, we ignored it because we're like, well, that's fucking mental, right? But then the lies started to take root because he goes on Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan's like, oh, really? Tell me more. Oh, my God, Dave Rubin's so right. And then he went on like 100 shows. And so then Ben Shapiro and Daily Wire comes up, more gigantic, and Crowder comes up. And we're like, oh, these are pimples on our ass. Who cares about Shapiro? He's so small. Crowder, who cares? He's tiny. He's microscopic. Who cares, right? And we didn't address them. And you know what happened? They festered and festered and festered. And next thing you know, Dave Rubin, everybody started to think, oh, I wonder if he's right about the Young Turks and they have some evil, nefarious purpose or something. Then we started fighting back and we crushed that motherfucker. Now he's a laughing stock. So whenever anybody thinks of Dave Rubin, they're like, oh, yeah, he's that dumb guy, right?
Yeah, but that's not because of you. That's also because of Majority Report, ironically enough. And people like myself.
I know. When we fight back, everybody gets their feelings.
The point is, it's not...
And
it's not just
it's
you.
Never us. We never get any credit. We only get discredit.
The reason why I'm bringing up Majority Report and myself in this process is because ultimately we are all aligned on virtually every single issue.
Oh, this is it. This is the part where Cenk asserts that he is the left.
So in many respects, you feel chastised individually. You feel like you've been outcast by the left or whatever, like the media representation of the left is.
They're not the left. I'm the left.
Okay.
No, 100%. And you agree with that.
Okay. Please, just listen.
No, because we have to.
But you're not the singular force.
The idiots are making everyone think they are the left. They're like, we're the left. We're the real left. Okay, we are super extreme. We want free surgeries for every criminal. Yes, we're the left. And oh, Nazi. And Haas, what happens? People think they are the left. So if you say you're right, Cenk, those are the extreme idiot left.
I don't think
you are the left, then I'm okay.
No, I don't think those are the extreme idiot left. I think that there is going to be a diversity of thought in any issue that people have, and it's a matter of who you make your enemies in the finite amount of time that we have on the space, the finite amount of time that we have, living on planet Earth. It's about the economy of time and utilizing it appropriately. I don't spend any time. I do not spend any time.
Just let him attack you and sit there and don't correct anything. Let all the lies fester.
Yes.
Wait, you didn't let me finish. So Dave Rubin, now he's a laughingstock. Then Jimmy Dore comes
because
in
Dave Rubin is a right winger. Yeah. Majority Report is not.
So you're saying
you are in agreement with the Majority Report.
No. Hold on. Let me finish the thought. So on Jimmy Dore, he comes in and goes, "Oh, they're paid by Nancy Pelosi. They're paid by the CIA." Lunatic, right? And so we let it fester. Finally, we're like, get this out of here. And we tell the people truth and we crush him. Now he's a joke on the internet, right? So we go on. And anytime we don't fight, it festers. Anytime we do fight, we crush them and we move the on, and nobody thinks Jimmy Dore's the left anymore. Nobody thinks Dave Rubin's the left anymore. And so now these guys come and attack us going, no, we're the real left, we're the real left.
There's a
and you're saying, no, don't crush them. Just let them fester and people pretend that they're the real left. No, we don't do that. So if you're going to say stupid shit and you're going to try to punch us in the face, we're going to punch you back, not on our behalf. On behalf of Democratic voters who you are lying about. The Democratic voters do not agree with you. They agree with us. So sad day for you. And I'm not going to let you lie and pretend that Democratic voters are on your side because you're a fucking liar and they're not on your side. Do you agree that the Democratic voters are on my side?
I don't care what the Democratic voters are on, of whichever side they're on right now. We've lost the plot.
This conversation had started about the anti-trans ads that the Trump campaign ran, in which the Democrats didn't really ever acknowledge or have a response for. That's the plot that initially started this conversation.
We've completely lost the plot because now the conversation is about like the serfs or Majority Report, and I think that's a completely and utterly unproductive conversation to have.
Your strategy is when grifters on the left attack you, whether it's
I don't think they're grifters.
I think Seder's a grifter.
I disagree.
Okay. Oh, by the way, so now all of a sudden you're defending Seder. When he calls me a grifter, you don't defend.
First of all, I've never heard him call you a grifter.
He's called me every name in the book.
Okay.
He's a low rent grifter.
Stop.
Okay, no, I'll tell you. I'll out him right now. When we were in Vegas together, when we were in the same network, he starts attacking Jimmy Dore, and I say, hey, cut this shit out. I agree with you, not Jimmy, but you're attacking him in a way that is over the top and totally unnecessary and counterproductive. And you know what Sam said to me? Sam said, oh, well, he has a bigger audience than me. So if I do that, I'm going to siphon off of his audience. You know why I siphon off? Oh, because I am right and he is wrong. And the audience deserves to hear my truth. So he's doing the same thing to us. He's
agree with him.
And I told him not to do it.
But you agree with him that Jimmy Dore is
No, this was pre-Jimmy going full right-wing, full lunatic.
Yeah. Okay, but
on that particular issue they were debating about, I agreed with Sam and not Jimmy. I don't mind him saying, hey, I don't agree with Jimmy. What I minded is him saying, oh, Jimmy is terrible and bad intent and blah, blah, blah. But brother, he hasn't even done that yet.
He disagrees with Jimmy Dore on this whichever issue.
Did it with bad intent, Haas.
What was it on?
He says, I don't even remember. It's irrelevant. What he says is he literally told me, I try to take other people's audience by getting into their basically next to their algorithm, right? So if you've got a guy like that who has bad intent, you're saying if you deem him right wing, you should attack him. But if you deem him left wing, you should let him lie about you. You should let him call you every name in the book.
No.
You should let him pretend he represents the left when he doesn't represent the left. He doesn't represent Democrats. You should let him trick people into thinking that the Democrats are super unpopular, that the left wing is super unpopular. No, I'm not going to let him trick people into thinking that.
Okay, listen. Sam Seder or any number of different left-wing content creators have no bearing on the actual policies that the Republican right are implementing. No, they don't. They don't.
Why did Kamala
You're
Harris
out of your mind.
Why did Kamala Harris in 2019 say on tape that transgender detainees should get surgery if they're undocumented immigrants? She said it because there was hold on, Haas, let me finish. Because there was enormous pressure. There was enormous pressure from the radical left to say, "Oh yeah, you got to be pro transgender detainee immigrant surgery. You have to, otherwise you're not left enough." And she's an idiot. She doesn't have any thoughts in her head. She was like, "Oh, okay, I'll adopt that position." And it was because of the extreme left that she adopted that position because she's an empty vessel.
You are literally attributing the consistent thing that you also agree that Kamala Harris is a bad politician with bad instincts and did not have a good way to communicate what she would have done differently for trans people to Majority Report and any number of different like extreme leftist outlets that literally get a fraction of the views that I get in this regard. Like, no disrespect to them, but like all of us combined do not have the same motion. You're talking about the special interest
groups. You never
groups.
fight them, so nobody knows. Everybody thinks you're extreme left. Everybody thinks that you're the woke left extraordinaire, right? So like, and why do they think that? Apparently you don't agree, but they think that because you don't actually ever fight on this issue. You don't delineate.
The reality is the way that people are presented by others ends up changing the perception that they have in the minds of a lot of people that are they're simply just not paying attention. I come at it from a much more understanding point of view, and I understand that there is a large tent of people with a diversity of different opinions. And there are moments where I will yell at a chatter, but outside of that, in terms of the finite amount of time we have spending, I find it more productive to spend it focusing on the actual people who hold the levers of power rather than people who I'm aligned with almost entirely, whether it be yourself with some very major disagreements or even Sam Seder and the like.
But
That's it.
Haas, you're making it sound like
Presenting
we
yourself,
just have a difference of agreement.
No, presenting yourself
no,
as
but we don't
an
have,
intellectual.
Haas.
Presenting yourself as the opposite of these people serves no purpose. It just only makes you look like you're the moderate voice in here, and they're the extreme voices and whatever.
That's true, though.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just make your argument and move on and focus on the things that do matter.
Say the same thing to them because they're the ones because intent matters, Haas. Intent matters. Look, you know how many people disagree with me in Young Turks hosts? So I had this giant same exact debate we were having about the trans ad with Jordan Yule and with Jules Sulzdev. I can't. This is the one time I get it wrong, Jules. I love those guys. Francesca's in our network. I disagree with them all the time. We have the debates on air. There's nothing wrong with those debates. That's wonderful. No problem at all. Where I draw the line is bad intent.
Yeah, when I have disagreements with any number of different people on any other networks, I say ultimately I don't care. We are aligned in this fight. We care about protecting undocumented immigrants. We care about protecting trans people, and I'm not going to pay too much attention to this because ultimately I don't give a shit if there are disagreements. I have disagreements with my friends all the time. Ultimately, if I think someone is almost entirely aligned with me on a lot of these key issues, then I see no reason.
And they call you a Nazi and a grifter. You say, okay,
it doesn't matter. People call me. Yes.
Okay,
people
no
call
problem.
me all of it.
Okay,
I think it's ridiculous if it's coming from the right.
Haas,
if it's coming from the right, then you can use that as an opportunity to show
politics.
why they're ridiculous.
No, but let's get back to politics. So why does anybody think we're extreme, right? Why does anybody think the left is extreme? Because they have a whole bunch of hosts that they could point to and thought leaders and people online.
Yeah, myself included.
Right, that they point to and they go, look at these extreme positions that they have. So that taints the rest of the left. And that is counterproductive, it's unfair, and it's inaccurate. So stop pretending the most extreme positions are the most left-wing positions. They are not. They're the least representative of the left.
I think hyper-focusing on what the right is considering to be the most extreme positions is only giving it more air for no reason. This is why I said this is the sister soldier.
The independents decide the elections.
This is why
and you're losing that battle.
This is why I said this is a sister soldier moment where you're like identifying someone to your left that is more extreme than you to show everybody how moderate you are. And there's no reason to do that.
To show them how moderate Democratic voters are.
There's no reason.
Because they brainwash people into thinking that Democratic voters are lunatics who, by the way, okay, let's argue this. They say that no crime exists.
There's no reason to do that.
Crime is great.
There's no reason to do that.
Crime is wonderful.
You want to know why there's no reason to do that? Donald Trump is president. You never see Republicans do that, even if they do actually disagree. Even if they do actually disagree, it doesn't matter. There's no reason. There's no reason to ever turn around and be like, I disagree with these people.
You're 100% wrong on this. So let's look at California. So you say it doesn't matter.
I gotta pee real quick. You can keep going. We'll talk about crime in a second. Go ahead.
Well, this has certainly been a lively debate, and for those of you who maybe don't get to be with family this holiday season, I hope this has been a little substitute for you. You know, it's juicy stuff, and I think both of them are passionate about it, and you know, I think the left on the internet and the sort of news opinion sphere can certainly get a little bit, up its own tailpipe. And we also have been doing a fair amount of infighting since the election as we all try and make some sense of it. But for one, I would like to wish you all a happy and healthy holiday season. And, I appreciate you listening. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments.